Giants Commanders over. And we've already seen this total pop up from 41.5 to 43.5. I'm just not quite so sure that either of these defenses is going to be able to stop the opposing offense. I mean, we saw what happened in Tampa with Washington, and the Commanders have a real issue right now in the secondary. So Baker Mayfield was able just to pass all over them. And I know you're thinking, oh, you think Daniel Jones is going to be able to do that? For some reason, I don't know why it is, Danny Dimes, whenever he plays the Commanders, looks like a freaking MVP. It's unbelievable. I don't know if it's a division game, whatever it is, he always plays really, really well. And then conversely, the Giants are terrible this season. I mean, they're so bad. Sam Darnold was carving those guys up. So I can absolutely see a game where you just go back and forth, and it comes down to a field goal at the end of the game, which is why the spread is Commanders -2.5. I wouldn't touch the Commanders right now just because the Giants, again, have had their number over the past couple of seasons in particular, but I do like the over.
I'm interested to see if Jaden Daniels once again uses his feet as much in this game, because if he had his rushing prop, went way over that, had 88 rushing yards against Tampa Bay. Do you think he continues to be a force on the ground, or is some of that inflated because, that Bucs game was not close? Again, he's probably not going to rush for 88 yards, but
Yeah.
do you think he's somebody that maybe you look at his rushing prop for this week?
Yeah, absolutely. I need to check and see what the number is, but
It's not out yet.
Okay, we see this all the time in the NFL rookie quarterbacks, right? They can run, they get nervous in the pocket, and the first thing they do is take off. Well, two things here. Number one is Jaden Daniels is a very, very dynamic runner. Now, he's got to learn to slide. He doesn't know how to slide. So what he doesn't even slide head first or feet first. He just kind of tumbles over. And so he's got to figure that out. But not only that, this is a Commanders offensive line that can be pretty porous. They're still working. They've got a rookie there and Brandon Coleman there on the left side, and they've got some talent there, but on the whole, you can get through that offensive line, and so you take that into account, along with the fact that Jaden Daniels is a rookie who's going to have a propensity to run in the first place, and yeah, I would look at his rushing prop in a big way, and also, if you expect this game to go back and forth, and I do, that means more opportunities to run anyway.
Yeah, if you're talking about quarterbacks who get nervous when they don't find the first read, Malik Willis is like that. So if you see a rushing prop for Malik Willis, who is going to be filling in as starting quarterback for the Packers, maybe a solid bet to make as well. All right, Jenk, so there's a couple of totals that I like if we're looking at this slate. So I'm going to start with this one, the Rams and the Cardinals. The total's really high. It's 49.5. But the interesting aspect of this game is the fact that the line is flipped. This one opened Rams as favorites on the road, laying 1.5. Now it's Rams +1. And I think a lot of this has to do with the injury report. The Rams have a couple of tackles that left last time's game banged up. Puka Nacua left the game as well. But here's the thing about the Rams and Sean McVay. Sean McVay owns the Rams, or owns the Cardinals. He is 13-2 against the Cardinals in the last 15 meetings, including 7 straight wins in Arizona. So if you're looking at this line and saying, well, the Cardinals are better, I still feel like the head coaching advantage squarely still goes to Sean McVay. So I am leaning towards the Rams in this one. I know they have a ton of injuries, but still, I feel like Sean McVay gets the job done. Also, I think the over in this one is worth a look as well. We've seen what Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp can do. And plus, you look at this Cardinals offense. They're a team that can run the score up as well. And both of these teams don't really play much defense. So I think I like the over there. And then the under that I think I will be pounding. Oh, man, this one's gone down. Steelers Broncos. This was 37 yesterday. It's down to 36.5.
Oh, Lord.
Is this too low to play an under here? But these offenses, man. Whew.
Ooh, I don't know. I kind of like the Steelers here in a big way. I think the Steelers will really frustrate Bo Nix. And we talk about how good TJ Watt is and how good that Steelers defense just looked last week, frustrating the Falcons. You don't think they can frustrate Bo Nix? And I like Bo Nix. I think he's actually going to be a good pro. But then again, at the same time, are the Steelers going to be able to move the ball? The under might be the right play. Because what did the Steelers win last week? Like 18-10 or something in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So can't you see a similar game like this? Because these are two. Atlanta, at least on paper, you would think would have not an explosive offense, but an offense that can at least put up some points. I don't see that from the Broncos. I damn sure don't see that from the Steelers. Yeah, this could easily be like a 20-10 ball. It could easily be like a 17-14 game. So I do think the under is the right side the more I think about it. The more I talk it out and hear myself sort of talk through it, yeah, I'd be on the under as well. I'd follow the money.
Yeah, and this is one that you probably need to bet on now. I bet this drops even more because some of the statistics, surrounding these offenses, a lot of it is Bo Nix. And the checkdown king is at it again. Last week, he finished with 26 completions and an average of 3.3 yards per attempt. That's one of the lowest marks we've seen in a long time in the NFL. So I am not expecting an explosive offense, especially when you're going against TJ Watt, a guy who is a game wrecker, as we saw it last week in Atlanta. So those are the two totals I like. From a watching perspective, what game do you want to watch most, Jenks?
What game do I want to watch? Well, I obviously want to watch the Commanders game. I want to see Bengals and Chiefs in a big way. I think that's going to be great because what's going to happen with Cincinnati? And historically, Joe Burrow is one of the few quarterbacks that has the advantage over Patrick Mahomes. Like, he always plays the Chiefs and always plays Patrick Mahomes really well. So I think this is going to be a nice barometer on what's going on with the Bengals. Is it typical Bengals, classic Bengals, slow start to the season, who cares? They'll put it together. They'll be great. Or will we see a situation where the Chiefs come out, they look like the Chiefs, and the Bengals can't keep it close, and all of a sudden you say, okay, I'm accustomed to seeing the Bengals get off to a slow start, but what are they doing at 0-2 and unable to move the football? Because make no mistake, the Patriots have a good defense, so do the Chiefs. This is a top 5 defense last year. And so I want to see what's going on with Cincy. On paper, before the season, you would have said, Bengals, Chiefs, week 2, that looks awesome. But I'm not quite sure how I feel about the Bengals. We're going to find out soon enough, but that's the one game that stands out to me.
Yeah, they need to show up. And I think from a viewing perspective, we all want to see a foil to Patrick Mahomes. And across the league, it feels like Joe Burrow has been the only player and the only quarterback that's been able to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, even at Arrowhead Stadium. But I know both people or both sides have really good quarterbacks in this one, but I think it's going to be more about the run game for me. And we saw how the Bengals failed to stop the run against Ramondre Stevenson and the Patriots last week. Stevenson had 120 yards on the ground, a touchdown, 25 carries. I feel like this is going to be a big game for Isaiah Pacheco. So I think from a prop standpoint, that's where my money will be.